Does look a little strange. Let me know if it's right. Okay. So what we got here. This does look a little weird. What we got here is we have 3 heavy annihilators and my music phone shutting off. Ahoy, Othelios and Summer. How are you doing? See if you look. I don't want it to decline. Go away. Hold on. Technical problems because technology hates me. Please. Please work. Okay, fine. Just sit over there. Just sit over there and figure stuff out. So, there we go. We got 3 heavy annihilators because our winner from last month, brain work. Our winner from last month's Discord work in production. That's right. That's the word I'm looking for. The work in production showcase. He wanted some heavy annihilators, or 1 heavy annihilator. So I decided I was going to print 3 because I didn't know if it was going to work out. Blah blah blah. But I ended up working out, so I made 3 of them. And of course, the only YouTube that works over there is commercial. So we got 3 of them to paint, and they are going to look like my Robot Legion. So this is going to be the menagerie of colors we're using today. And I am going to attempt some data glow on them. Of course, that's going to be after washes. So hopefully we're going to be able to power through. Yes. Quiet. Yes. I like it. There. Blah. Okay. Sorry, I'm so discombobulated. We are going to start with, turn that down a hair. We are going to start with, the Ruddy Fur. So this Ruddy Fur is just going to be the base for our copper tone. Yes, today I jumped on Tabletop Simulator and taught Thelios how to play one-page rules. Oh my goodness, I am out of it tonight. Sorry, it's Wednesday. Welcome to a Wednesday stream, our first Wednesday stream. It's just us 3. Oh no, there's more people here. So this is just going to be the base that is going to turn copper. And why? Why music? Why? There we go. That level. But yeah, people are tuning in to watch me flail. Then we're going to do the legs this color too. So happy Wednesday. What's going on out there in the world? What you working on? What do you want to talk about? So yes, he wanted 1 of these, so I'm going to paint up 3 of them. He's going to get the best one. And with me doing cool stuff like glowing data systems on this thing, it'll probably be the 3rd one. I'm going to screw the first 2 up. So we start off just throwing the first color at this thing. Make sure this is set right. Yep. Oh, there's a few here. Do you mix the contrast paint with medium or just water? I mix it with Liquitex Flow Aid, just to let it move a little smoother, and just adding more body to it so it doesn't dry out in the palette. The Trainaholics loving the Robos, awesome. You know, I think I know what it is about the Robot Legions that I like more design-wise than the Necrons. They truly look like they were at one point mass-produced. Yes. They truly look like they were at one point, like, used for something. Like, they weren't just transmogrified into the body. They actually had a purpose. Okay, so that's going to be our copper color. While it dries, we're going to move on to the main body, which is going to be Mummified Grime. Let's do a little bit of bip. Yeah, just a few drops of the Flow Aid, because it does kind of water down the color a hair. Alright, so this is going to be for the body parts. What is my light doing? Hold on. There we go. Yeah, everything down here is like it's Wednesday. You don't stream on Wednesdays. What the heck's going wrong with you? Yes, grime for the naughty robot bits. Kind of pulls off Droideka. I don't know, ever since my first batch of Robot Legions, I've been determined to not paint them all silver. Yeah, the lore in Grimdark Future is that the robot legions were put together by the elves to be their AI workers for them. And then what happened was when the dwarves screwed everything up and they had the Radiance Cascade that opened the wormhole to the other side of the galaxy, which, suddenly humans, the robots, something happened with them to where they had it's called the spark, where they all woke up simultaneously. They all gained sentience. Or what's the other word I'm looking for? Not sentience. Well, maybe sentience works. Well, there's another word. Like sentience is, just something that can, it knows what it is and what it can do. But there's another word that's like a higher level than that. I remember I read it in like a sci-fi book, and then I had to look it up. I was like, oh crap, that's the word. Like it gave them reasoning. Pretty much gave them life. And once they came to, they're like, wait a minute, what the hell are we doing? And proceeded to kick the elves off their own planet because the elves, another word for self-awareness. Yeah, because the elves, yeah, they did not treat them very well. And the Robot Legion was like, why are we doing this for the elves? Kick them off the damn planet. So they did. And so the higher class elves who had access to like ships and stuff went off to become the high elves. And then the pores, who were left on the planet, I love saying that, the pores, turned into the dark elves. And then I'm not sure where the jesters come from, but they're in there somewhere. I don't know. I didn't really read that hard into those because the jesters are a silly thing in my mind. Alright, so now we're going to do some broadsword silver for the metal bits. There is going to be some silver in this. Singularity. No, it's a. I will find this word. It's real close to sentience. I thought it was a typo when I first saw it. But that's not the point. So the Dark Elves were stuck on the planet with the robots, so the Dark Elves started having to do Dark Elf things just to survive. I guess this guy's neck is going to be this color. And eventually, sapient, that's it. Sapient. I knew someone was going to Google it for me. So the Dark Elves eventually beg, borrow, and steal their way off the planet, send out distress calls until people come close enough to be like, what's going on? And then the Dark Elves steal their ship. And that is where the Dark Elf Raiders happen. So afterwards, the Robot Legion is standing around on the planet going, hey, what now? And because all factions that start off unified, they all kind of decided they were going to try to do different things. So the Jesters, the Jesters survived and then decided to become. They have PTSD from robots. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. Right. So the Robot Legions, they all looked around and said, hey, we should all do something. And then they had some infighting, and they've kind of fractured into different sects of Robot Legion dudes. Some of them are like, we need to stay connected. Some of them actively disconnected themselves from the signal, so they can't be found or talked to other Robot Legions. They all decided to go do their own thing. And look at that. Blech. Cool Mini, what is it? These are heavy annihilators for OPR's Robot Legion. They normally come in a unit of 1, but I printed 3 of them because somebody wanted one who won a contest of mine, and I was not 100% sure I was going to get a good print. So I was like, I'm going to shoot for 3, and I ended up with 3 good prints. So we're just blocking in the first colors. And the gun, we'll do a black wash on it, but then we'll do a chrome dry brush on the gun. But then it's going to have glowy bits. Oh, thank you. The Special Orc Mini? What Special Orc Mini? Oh, me? One day, I keep badgering the guys from One Page Rules. I'm like, hey, I have a great idea for a special orc character. We'll see. Yes, you could use Blender, but how cool would it be for me to get a canon character? Probably isn't going to happen, but a guy can dream, right? Well, my next bat rep, let's see here, is chronologically this weekend. I'm going to have another TTS up on Saturday because we're doing the third round of the Nexus Open Planetverse tournament tomorrow. So hopefully I'm going to have that done up for Saturday. And then after that, funny you should mention that, Darth Dad, I'm going to your garage where we are going to have a 4,000 point throwdown. And we're going to be recording that. And I, of course, am bringing Dub Boys. I'm going to be fighting some Wolf Brothers. Yeah, I mean, throwing around characters like that for just like their different creators and then the people on their staff, that'd be so awesome. Have I been doing any Warzone Eternal? I don't know what that is, so no. We went over in the last stream how I'm kind of a closeted nerd. Alright, let's start doing some copper. We're going to use true copper here. It's like Duh Bears. Yep, it's Duh Boys. That's, and then we're going to want a dry brush. Oh, we've already given each other lists. My list is going to be 2 squads of biker boys, all tooled up with an extra shooty character, an extra shooty veteran. And then 2 trikes with the triple barrel shotgun, 2 assault buggies that have the shock cannons on them. And then I have 2 melee walkers, so 2 melee dreads. And then I have a super heavy walker, Stacy. Or not Stacy, Becky. Stacy's like 5,000 points. Yeah. And then inside Becky, because I gave her the transport upgrade, we're going to have 6 specialists with flamethrowers along with my big mech scooter. You're going to be running around trying to fix everything that broke, but, trying in vain because there's no way he's going to be able to fix everything that breaks. So it is a very shooty orc list. Ah. Yeah, it is crazy to think how many dang factions there are. That's kind of why I was trying to do one faction every week. You know, one for Age of Fantasy and one for Grimdark Future. But then they started talking about the September update. I'm like, oh, I gotta start over when I get there. So I'm like, I'll just wait. I'll start the clock over again when we get to there. Now we're gonna do super shiny metal on the guns because we are going to dull it down when we get into the washes, and we're gonna do washes before we start doing the glowy bits. The reason why I'm doing super shiny is because it's going to get dulled down anyways. We do the washes. And also, if my black isn't dry yet, like it's not dry there, that's all right. Shooting on the other direction. But like I said, I'm painting 3 of these, and he is going to get the best one out of the 3. Got that done. Now, let that dry for a minute, because next we're going to do the washes on it. And then what I'm going to do is, see that crystal on their back? We're gonna do all the where the glowy bits are gonna be white, and then we're gonna hit it with this data system glow. So we're gonna get neon green in there at least. For all you people that scream neon at me every night. Alright. Okay, I got my marine juice. It's not Thursday. I know it's not Thursday. I put a post up saying I was going to do a live stream tonight because tomorrow I have my final game of the regiment's tournament I'm doing on TTS. And my the final player, the final person I'm playing against is Creaky Baby from England. So I was like, okay, I'll I let him pick the day. Because we're gonna start at 9:30 for me, and it's gonna be like midnight 30 over there. For this situation, I do prefer the marine juice over the oil washes, because the oil washes, you gotta let them set pretty much overnight. At least the way that I do my oil washes. I've seen some people do some things to it where you can get it to dry in like an hour. But the marine juice kind of adds in just enough oomph into what I want it to do. I missed that piece on his back, so I got a little heavier there. There we go. That'll glow. That's fine. When I was just painting the stuff and not streaming, yeah, oil washes were my go-to because I would use that as a I would use that as a time break. Like, oh, there are the washes. Gotta let it sit. I'll have to start again tomorrow. There you go. Well, I have a plan. I'm going to my next Blessed Sisters army. I'm going to do it like the Argent Shroud. So they are going to be mostly silver. So I didn't want to do like multiple massive silver armies close together. Yeah, if time wasn't a factor, then yes, the oil wash would be the preferred method. My lamp black and brown burnt umber washes. Alright, we'll let that sit for a minute while I work out how I'm going to do the glowy bits. Ooh. And then we're going to save what we can out of this. Bloop. There we go. Yeah, I did a lot of experimenting with oil washes before I started my live streaming. Like the army I did for what was it? The army I did for One Page More, I did that 90% with oil paints. Let me tell you, it was an interesting experiment with that, and it came out pretty good. It had like this organic look to it that was unsettling. All right. I know we're going right over some of the wet wash, but let's see what kind of effect that gives us. I tried using makeup sponges. I've tried to use my sponges are not makeup sponges. I have an old couch cushion that I've been ripping apart for like 5 years to give me sponges. see what that does. Yeah, whenever I use sponges, it's normally for like chipping and damage and stuff, so a rougher finish is normally what I'm going for there. Put a little glow on this pipe and see what happens. What was that when my printer was breaking, the minis got cloudy physically, making for it? Yeah? Yeah, that could do it. That could do it. If you don't start with a good base model to put paint on, then yeah, it kind of turns into bleh. So one of the other local guys here, Scott, has told me that he wants to do some BattleTech with me. I have not done BattleTech in like 10 years, so it is going to be fun to get my random... Now, see, when I play BattleTech, I like playing the periphery states. I like to just be able to go, random bullshit, go! I get to take uglies and cobble together stuff. So, wow, okay. I just realized in BattleTech I'm an orc as well. So that's gonna be fun. I remember way back in the day. Seems to be a theme. Yeah. I remember way back in the day when we first started playing BattleTech at my game store, like 20 years ago. Everyone needed to pick their inner spheres faction and then pick their clan that they were going to play as. Well, I picked the Outer World Alliance for my inner sphere faction. And then for my clan, I picked it because nobody else was picking it. I picked the Snow Ravens. Without knowing the lore, that they end up joining the Outworld Alliance as time goes on. So I was like, that's perfect. Which one? Here, that was Mech Warrior Dark Ages. Thoughts on BattleTech Gothic? Wait, this is all I know about BattleTech Gothic. 'Cause I played BattleTech Gothic. 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 I played BattleTech Gothic They decided to release it around Adepticon, and then while I was at Adepticon, I saw the displays for it, and I saw the guys who were promoting it, and I still thought it was a joke. I have no idea what Battletech Gothic is. Is it just like Battletech versus Kaijus? Battletech 40K? Because I enjoy Battletech. I like playing Battletech. I'm not a lore nerd for Battletech whatsoever. Hello, Barbarian. Should I do that? Yeah, I should do some glow on that as well. Just a boop, boop, boop. See what that looks like. All right. Yep. Okay. 3. All right, time to do some glowing. Let's see how this turns out. I've had this sitting on its side because I got it shook up, and I was like, I don't want to shake this thing up anymore. I need to get one of those things you push down and it shakes it for you. One day. Alright, let's take him off. Put him on. Radium, yeah, radium is great for glowing things. Alright, yeah, got a little bit of glow going on, a little bit. See how it turns out in the other ones here. See that I'm going too fast, I'm running into wet paint. Yes, I hope we all know that radium is, radioactive just by the name. Don't paint with radium. They have documentaries and everything about it. Okay, we're gonna let those sit. Yes, make sure. The best yellow for your Imperial Fists is yellow cake uranium. You might get a phone call. Or some people might think they really like your painting and show up and knock on your door. Okay, how we doing here? I mean, some of the first colors are still wet on this one. Right, let's do some stuff. Well, don't call the you don't have to call the government. I'm pretty sure you start painting with that, they'll find you. Ugh. So Walmart shrimp is radioactive. Got it. Sounds like they fished those shrimp out of certain islands in the Pacific. Dragon shrimp. Hey, that's how we got Godzilla. Yeah, kaiju shrimp. Listen, there is nothing that will unify the world more than aliens or kaijus. A lobster-like dragon, yeah. Just stuck my finger right in it. Okay, so we are looking something. This is definitely the best looking one so far, I think. But we're going to keep messing with it. How are we going to mess with that? What are we going to do on the body plates? Oh, I got some of that. This may, yeah, no. These, no. Come on, paint, give me an answer. Maybe. Real light, maybe. Bust out my, well, speaking of shrimp and lobsters, I'm busting out my old coconut crab colors. Real light. Let's see here. Maybe. Does that make any difference? There, now I can see it make a difference. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna quit monkeying with it. I think we're set as far as the color on those go, but we can start throwing some stuff on the base. Let's see. Do my usual, my base mix here, along with a cup. Since they're so brown coated, I feel like the bases should be kind of gray, or like a rocky base, just to make them pop a little bit. Hey, oh, good Lord, my oil containers did just fall. Get back up there. Don't you pop open. There we go. What? No pink? No, no pink. Do I have any gray? I think I may have used all my gray. Oh, no. I have a hair left of this. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Definitely not. We'll see what happens. Could use more purple. You all killing me. Every time. Here's my base brush. I can usually identify it just by looking at it, but I actually washed it last time. All right, there you are. There you are. All right. Oh, that's definitely enough gray. Okay, we got lucky there. A dark green in the gray. I don't know if I have a dark green. Oh, wait, I got something like a dark green. That's Kelly green. Let's give her a touch. Give her a touch and see what happens. Kinda. Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. I don't know, because this is going to somebody else. I don't know what their basing situation is. And I don't want to give them something that's completely out there as far as basing goes. Yep, they're flat bases. They're printed. Well, well, tabletop is just for tonight. Just for tonight, because I got my third round of my regiment's tournament tomorrow, and my opponent is from the UK, so I let him pick the time. Oh, I just noticed those cables underneath. Damn it! I just noticed those damn cables. Good thing I did too. All right. Tell you what, for me, this week is going by super fast. I was at work today. I was like, ah, crap, it's Wednesday. There we go. That's what happens when I don't look at a model's nether regions. Oh crap, it's not Friday. I say that 4 days a week. Okay. So out of the three of them, I feel like this one here has a tighter glow to it. That's why I like it. So this one is the one I will be shipping off. The other two, they'll make their way into my Robot Legion army. Which they're basing. I've done 3 different versions of them, so their basing is all over everywhere. So I don't care about the bases for those. Um, yeah, I think that's all we can do with these right now. Yeah. Other than maybe add some bark rocks to them, and just zhoosh up the bases. Which we gotta let that dry first, and then do another coat around whatever I put on there. Make the bases uneven. Yeah, I think that is it. That is it. So, I mean, I figured 360mm models was going to be longer than it was. We were at an hour and 5 minutes. So yeah, guys, I think I'm done for the night. Yeah. Put that over there. Put the liver text back on there. Put on some resin supports 3. Good. I could, but no, like I said, I want to keep the base simple, at least on this one, to let them do whatever they want. And resin supports, I don't have any around at the moment. So, you know what we could do? We got some time left. I still got these bikes over here that I got to do the bases on, so we can push these to the back. And then pull over the chair with the bikes on it. Huh. The lances that they got all happy on me and bent up, I think I cured those weird. A little heat will put them back where they need to be. I love how they're all stuck to the painting thing. All right. So we're just going to do a coat of dry brush on the bases here. And then we'll let that dry and then do the black rim, and then these are done. Maybe put a little some bushes on there, but all right. Let's do, where my khaki, there it is. Uh-oh. Almost out of that too. I'm running low on stuff. Alright, so for these bases here, let's do a little, just a little bit of color. Just hit the edges, yeah. We get a different brush. So while we're hanging out, anything else you guys want to talk about? Random stuff? Wait, don't put that in the water. Random questions? One of these days, I'm going to do an army where it's just goblin green flock for the base. It's like it was back in the old days. Yeah, no problem. It just goes to show, if you guys want to learn how to play one-page rules, just come on to my Discord and badger me long enough, and I'll teach you how to play, at least on Tabletop Simulator. Well, my answer is none of the GW models are worth the price. Yet the Wood Elves, the way they're doing them, are really cool. And then what is the third tier of NPR? Are we talking National Public Radio? Or was that a typo? Oh. Yeah, I don't think there is a third tier of OPR. If you're talking about Patreon levels, I'm pretty sure it's just 1 and 2. Just announced. Oh. Well. Oh. Right. Yeah, I love the timing of the OPR posts on their Patreon because it always lands right during the day when I am absolutely in the middle of something. So it's like I see it, but then I clear it off my phone and then I forget it was ever there. So they have a third tier. I might have to go figure out what that is. Oh, they're putting up the original models from 5 years ago. Oh, what was 5 years ago? Are we talking like? We talking like their old, their old Battle Brothers army? Because So I got those files. Hopefully they've updated them. Because I've been on the OPR train for a long time. It was, honestly, the only reason why I started one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel was because I'm like, they should have videos. Someone should do videos. And then it kind of hit me. I was like, Fitz, you could do videos. So I started doing videos, and I'm going to tell you, in the beginning it was rough. Some of my first videos, I look back now and just cringe. Started off my channel with a copyright infringement from the Foo Fighters. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I didn't know how audio worked. And now we know better. Even though my last one, I got a copyright claim from Pitbull. But that one was worth it. I knew I was going to get one when I was making it. Yeah, that's fine. I walked into that one knowing it was gonna happen. Exactly. I was like, this intro is perfect for this. I'll have to see how the third game comes out to see if I'm gonna do another one of those type of intros. I'll have to put some Johnny Cash in there. Burn a ring of fire. Okay. That's the last one. All right, guys. I think we're gonna stop painting there. So I'm out of things to paint at the moment. Yeah, I remember. The funny thing is, when I actually got to talk to Tano, it was right after I did the video where I did my psychic hive tyrant. This is actually the second one I've done. And he was like, "Where's that model from?" I'm like, "Those are your models, just bashed together a little bit." So, I don't know, maybe we will see some Psi Titans or some Psi stuff. But yeah, this is the second one I've done. I just haven't painted it yet because I haven't gone back to the alien hives. Yes, my Cthulhu brain bugs. All right, guys, we're done. I'm not gonna sit here and pontificate anymore. Ooh, that word was so big it hurt my brain. So we're gonna go ahead and say goodnight. I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are, and I hope you keep your brushes wet. Keep on painting. I'll see you for a video on Saturday and then streaming on Monday. Good night, guys.